Now at 9, how this past week's storms played spoiler to a wedding in Missouri. Plus, community members in Girard embrace springtime with a spring fling on the square.
In Fort Scott, history is coming to life this weekend. That story coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
History has come to life this weekend in Fort Scott. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Anthony Saviello. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on how a Civil War reenactors are helping people connect with the past.
Walking through the Fort Scott historic site, you might think you've stepped back in time. An estimated 75 volunteers have joined together to portray the site as it once was, a Civil War fort during the 1860s. Some volunteers are committing to their role, planning to eat and sleep at the fort for the weekend.
Of course, during the Civil War, it was a huge supply and hospital area. The area would have been full of tents, full of mule wagons, teamsters, supplies coming in and out, soldiers coming in and out. So to be just a little fraction of that and recreate that it's a lot of fun for us, and I think it's good for people to see, to get an idea of what was going on here 150 years ago.
Attendees could watch live demonstrations that help showcase life at the fort during the Civil War. From weapons and cavalry demonstrations to showing camp life, visitors could get up close to history.
You get to actually stand and talk to people. You get to see the wool that they're wearing. You get to smell the horses in the stable. You get to smell that black powder, hear the concussion of the cannons firing, or the small arms, the muskets firing. It's a real visceral experience, as opposed to, I've read this in the book or I saw it on the screen. This is real.
For organizers, they say seeing people excited to engage with history is the best part.
Well, that's the whole reason we do it. I mean, we enjoy it ourselves, of course, but to get people engaged or to get them thinking about it and maybe plant that seed in a kid that's going to be the next generation of historian or Civil War reenactor, that's a good thing.
Civil War reenactments have been happening at the historic site for more than 40 years, and they have no plans on stopping the beloved tradition. Reporting in Fort Scott, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The Civil War experience will continue at the Fort Scott Historical Site through tomorrow afternoon. Chris Warner is in for Lindsay and joins us with a first look at weather.
Yeah, we had some sunshine initially, then cloud cover began to build in. This is a look from the MoDOT camera 32nd range line from earlier this afternoon as those clouds began to roll into the area ahead of some of those scattered showers. So similar to yesterday, we didn't get as much cloud cover as we thought, but nonetheless, it is beginning to roll in. Our temperatures have been a little bit cooler today as well, and it might still shower, at least for some of us out there. 46 is where we started our Saturday, made it up to 57, and that was just before noon today. So again, not quite where we're supposed to be. In fact, our average high is 70. Thursday was above that. And then after that cold front rolled through, we've been below that, and that's where we are going to remain until at least Monday across the area. We're going to start to warm up, and then we've got thunderstorm chances rolling into the area. We'll have all the details in your full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Anthony?
All right, thanks, Chris. A wedding rehearsal in Eureka, Missouri came to a halt when severe weather moved through the area yesterday. The guests even found themselves ducking for cover. Brent Solomon reports how the venue is now trying to make sure it is cleaned up in time for the couple's big day.
Everybody kind of quickly rushed into the bathroom, and we kind of waited it out there.
Annette Johnson is planning the wedding for a local bride. They were inside of this event space at Brookdale Farms when the storms rolled through.
Trying to get everyone lined up, and then all of a sudden the wind started, got a little dark.
Chairs started blowing outside. Moments before, part of the roof ripped to the ground.
We had babies inside. We had a lady in a wheelchair, got everybody to safety, and before the part of the roof came off.
The company's storage unit next door now destroyed.
Just extra farm equipment, stuff for our fall festival. It's a large storage building, and just a little bit of everything is stored in that building.
Authorities shut down a portion of Twin Rivers Road. Look at this transformer that fell into the roadway.
A lot of people like to come outside and say, hey, let me see what's going on, but especially on this roadway, you can't even get through.
That's correct. Please avoid the area. We still have possibly live power lines down, and we would hate for somebody to get inside touch some of the power lines at this time.
As cleanup gets underway, owners of the event space are tarping up the roof in hopes the lucky couple can still exchange vows here come Saturday.
How's that bride feeling right now?
She's a little concerned, but we are just trying to be very positive.
We want to try to make this bride's day perfect.
A building inspector was called out to make sure the event space is still structurally sound despite the damage. The community of Girard, Kansas today held a spring fling on the square. Attendees were able to shop for some new items while supporting local businesses. Officials say the event is a way for the community to get outside and enjoy the beginning of spring.
It means a lot to me. I travel to a lot of events all over the area, and to get to be involved with the community and get them involved in this also.
Today's spring fling kicked off at 9 this morning on the square. Down to Earth in Pittsburgh today held its annual Earth Day plant sale and craft show. It included more than 5 vendors selling fruits and vegetables, freeze-dried candy, and handmade jewelry. Down to Earth also featured in-store sales to celebrate the holiday.
It's a great opportunity for the artist community to come together and have our art out for the world to see. And it's a way for us to get out and socialize with other like-minded people.
Today was the 5th annual Earth Day and Plant Sale. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and the Children's Center of Southwest Missouri hosted a party in the park. The purpose of the party was to raise awareness and learn what the community can do to protect local children. It included resources from more than 10 area organizations.
The main goal of this event is just to make sure that everyone knows that no matter whether you're a parent or a mandated reporter, everyone can see something, say something. Everyone can protect the kids in our community by calling the child abuse hotline and your local law enforcement anytime you see something that could look alarming.
Today's event also featured various games and activities for all the kids. Coming up, with the jury chosen, former President Donald Trump awaits the start of his hush money trial. In former President Trump's hush money trial in New York, the group chosen amid uniquely unprecedented circumstances, with the weight of the first criminal trial ever of a former president hanging heavy on their shoulders. Next up, our opening statements scheduled for Monday. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera has the latest.
The jury of 7 men and 5 women include a software engineer, an English teacher, and an investment banker. 6 alternate jurors will step in if any of the 12 drop out. Emotions ran high during the week, with some prospective jurors expressing anxiety, others breaking down in tears. The trial is moving forward despite another attempt by Trump's team to delay as he tries to move the case out of Manhattan. That motion was denied.
The trial starts on Monday, which is long before a lot of people thought. The judge wants us to go as fast as possible. That's for his reasons, not for my reasons.
The judge promised a ruling Monday morning before opening statements about what prosecutors can bring up if Trump testifies, which he said he'd like to do. Also happening next week, there will be a hearing over the prosecutor's request to hold Trump in contempt, accusing him of violating his gag order several times. Today, though, Trump is outside of the courthouse holding a rally in Wilmington, North Carolina. He's looking to shore up his support in the battleground state, which he won by a little more than a single percentage point in 2020. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will be included on the presidential ballot of a 3rd state, Hawaii. Earlier this week, Kennedy gained ballot access in Michigan, and he's qualified for Utah's ballot earlier this year. RFK Jr.'s campaign has said he's gained enough signatures to qualify for the ballot in several other states: North Carolina, New Hampshire, Nevada, Nebraska, Idaho, and Iowa. And a super PAC backing Kennedy said it has collected enough signatures to put Kennedy on the ballot in Georgia, Arizona, and South Carolina. The House passed a $95 billion package providing foreign aid to Ukraine, Israel, and the Indo-Pacific region Saturday. One of the bills provides nearly $61 billion to assist Ukraine and others in the region to fight Russia. Another bill provided $26 billion in aid for Israel, and a third bill includes $8 billion in funds for the Indo-Pacific region to counter China's actions. The legislation will be combined into a single amendment as it moves to the Senate. 25 years ago, 12 students and one teacher were killed at a high school in Columbine, Colorado. A vigil was held at First Baptist Church in Denver in remembrance of that day and the lives lost. Former Arizona Congresswoman Gabby Giffords was also in attendance and spoke at the vigil. Giffords was a survivor of a mass shooting in 2011. Lindsay is next. Chris is next with a look at your forecast, and later, the latest on tensions between Israel and Iran.
Welcome back. So again, after some sunny skies initially on our Saturday, clouds began to roll in by this afternoon, and they're going to continue to roll in and bring at least a few of us some chances for showers. So again, this is from our camera on the Cornell Complex earlier this afternoon, downtown Joplin. You can see the clouds beginning to roll into the area, and they're going to be associated with some shower chances. Earlier today, again, a couple of stray showers, northern Bourbon County, more shower activity off to our north and west, but as you can see, clouds across a good portion of the area. So we started our Saturday pretty good. Some sunshine. It was chilly this morning, but could be a lot worse out there. And then we're just going to get this bulk of clouds rolling into the area as we head overnight tonight. And again, a few stray showers, especially in our northern counties, will be possible as we head overnight tonight. Otherwise, we're going to start to clear out. And that's going to be the fun part. So after about midnight or so, we'll start to see clouds decreasing, going partly cloudy, 39. So with that said, patchy frost will be possible at least in some locations. We'll have a north breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Our Sunday, initially we were looking at some shower chances, but now we are looking at slightly better conditions. Maybe a few clouds in the morning, a stray cloud or two as we head into the afternoon. Otherwise, sunny skies, still not where we should be, only 62. But at least it'll look warmer out there. North breeze at 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we head into Sunday night, clear skies. So again, on the average, lows back into the low 40s, but some of us may fall back into the upper 30s. And we do have some patchy frost that'll be possible once again out there. So just keep that in mind if you got some outdoor vegetation. And winds will begin to calm down as we go overnight as well. And that's ahead of a relatively decent Monday for us as well. We start Monday, clear skies. By late night Monday, clouds will start to build in from the north, and that's associated with our round of storms that'll be rolling in by Tuesday across the area. So by Tuesday afternoon and evening, a few scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. Otherwise, we're mostly cloudy and temperatures right about back where they should be, right around that 70-degree mark again. Those storms will clear out, and by Wednesday, we're looking pretty good as well. Partly to mostly cloudy skies out there through most of our Wednesday, and highs about where they should be once again. Then we go into Thursday morning, and brewing in from the south, another round of showers and thunderstorms across the area. And these will continue to lift to the north. And again, remember with the future track, it's not saying there's just this giant shield of rain across the area. It's showing that in this zone, this is where the opportunity for some showers and thunderstorms will be, and those darker colors representing better chances of showers and storms, and of course that would mean some heavier rain as well. As we go overnight Thursday into Friday morning, that's where we get some thunderstorms out there, and we're keeping an eye on the possibility of a strong or potentially severe storm as we head into Friday morning. And then by the time we head into the weekend, we're going to see additional shower and thunderstorm chances. And while these may be a little more scattered initially, by Friday afternoon into Saturday, we're still looking at opportunities for additional strong to severe thunderstorms out there. So again, not bad for our Monday or Sunday. Still, not bad temperature-wise Tuesday. A few thunderstorms, close to average by Wednesday. And as we head through the rest of the week and into next weekend, that's when we're keeping an eye on those additional thunderstorm chances. And thunderstorm chances aside, look at those temperatures well above average into the 80s.
All right, thanks, Chris. Coming up, Fox Means Business.
Troubles at Tesla. I'm David Asman with the Fox Business Network. More coming up.
A well-placed military source tells Fox News last night's strike against Iran by Israel was limited. The Israelis also targeted an air defense unit in southern Syria. Fox News correspondent Trey Yingst has the latest from Tel Aviv.
Iranian protesters take to the streets of Tehran on Friday morning. many holding signs that say "Down with Israel."
The Zionist regime should know that if it makes a mistake, this time it will be punished harder and more severely.
The demonstrations erupted hours after an Israeli strike targeted Iran's Esfahan province, home to the Natanz nuclear facility, a plant used to enrich uranium. The apparent retaliation to an Iranian attack against Israel over the weekend was meant to send a message to Iran that Israel can reach out and touch close to nuclear facilities, a well-placed military source told Fox News. Reports indicate an airbase was hit with Israeli missiles, as Iranian military leadership claimed without evidence that explosions heard in the area were caused by successful air defense interceptions.
I think the Iranians will likely call it a day. No cruise missile attack, no ballistic missile attack. And, you know, they wanted to call it a day, obviously, after the last attack on Saturday night, but the Israelis weren't going to put up with that. I'm hopeful that's where we are.
American and Israeli officials had very limited reaction to the strikes overnight, but Secretary of State Antony Blinken reiterated that the United States stands behind its key Middle East partner.
We're also committed to de-escalating, to trying to bring this tension to a close.
The event allowed Iran to claim victory and Israel to send a message to the regime in Tehran, effectively de-escalating the situation for now. In Tel Aviv, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
North Korea's Korean Central News Agency says it's tested what it calls a super-large cruise missile warhead in a new anti-aircraft missile. The test could provoke more tensions with South Korea and Japan and the United States. North Korea says its tests were regular military developments and had nothing to do with what it called the surrounding situation. South Korea, Japan, and the U.S. have responded with expanded military training and sharpening defense capabilities. The U.S. is planning to withdraw troops from Niger. The decision comes after Deputy Secretary of State Kurt Campbell met with Niger's Prime Minister Ali Lamine Zine on Friday. Niger has demanded that the U.S. pull out its military. The withdrawal will impact the U.S. presence in Africa at the time when Niger is deepening relationships with Russia and Iran. Zine says he wants to keep his partnership with the U.S. and diplomatic officials will remain in the country. Up next, a birthday celebration 106 years in the making. A woman in Tacoma, Washington is celebrating a big birthday. Tina Gerlach is turning 106 years young. The clever Tina is still very independent and in control of her daily life. She schedules and keeps track of her doctors and even her hair appointments to this day. Before retiring, Tina worked as a waitress at what she says is one of the best restaurants in Tacoma, then did housekeeping and gardening on her own until she was 84 years old. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Coming up, a warning about how to make sure the car you're buying online isn't fake. If you're looking to buy a car, authorities in Colorado are warning about the growing number of scams online for pre-owned vehicles, where these sellers are tricking customers into buying cars that were not real or available. Fox's Jason Law takes us there and tells us more.
Whether it's eBay, Craigslist, or Facebook Marketplace, the Better Business Bureau says you need to be careful when shopping around for a pre-owned car.
Many of us post-pandemic are still extremely active online.
Paula Fleming with the Better Business Bureau says there was a 25% jump last year for reports of virtual vehicle vendor scams. That's criminals posing as private sellers or dealerships using stolen pictures and fake addresses to trick shoppers out of their money.
We just want to arm people with the knowledge, like this is happening. The numbers, unfortunately, are increasing.
The Better Business Bureau says watch out for car prices that are significantly below market value. Be wary if the seller won't let you see the car, insists on a vehicle delivery fee, or says the money must be sent to a third-party payment service, like PayPal, Venmo, or the Cash App.
Anything where I can't verify a person, I think part of it is the anonymity that's behind all of this, right?
Dominic Burdick says he bought a used car last year off of Craigslist. He said he was extremely careful when he contacted the seller and did everything he could to make sure the car was real.
If I can't call and speak to a person, I'm going to I'm not just sending it over the interwebs money or just to see it disappear. No, I need to know that I'm dealing with an individual.
You also have to be careful when you research a vehicle. The Better Business Bureau says it saw a 30% jump in reports last year of bogus websites that create fake vehicle histories just to get your money or personal information. In Boston, I'm Jason Law.
U.S. farm real estate value was up to about $4,080 an acre as of 2023, about $280 an acre more than in 2022. The Missouri farm experts and owners say rising land, fuel, and grain costs, among others, are making it difficult for farms to expand. The Missouri Farm Bureau says small farming families now are increasingly unable to hand down the growing tradition. Family-owned farms have dropped 7% nationally in numbers. Missouri has passed a new law to help beginning farms match up with retiring farmers. Starbucks reveals its new line of more sustainable cold beverage cups. The company says the new cups are made with up to 20% less plastic than their predecessors. The coffee giant says this is part of its commitment to cut its carbon, water, and waste footprints in half by 2030. This move comes after Starbucks announced earlier this year that customers can use personal cups when ordering in-store through an app or through drive-thru to cut down on waste. The new cups will debut in stores across the U.S. and Canada this month. The turmoil in the Middle East appears to be weighing down the stock market. Fox Business Network's David Asman has that story and more in Fox Means Business.
A mixed Friday on Wall Street. The Dow ended up while the S&P 500 and NASDAQ dropped for the sixth time in a row. And it was a mixed week overall for the markets as well, with the NASDAQ seeing its biggest percentage drop since November of 2022. Investors continue to weigh the corporate earnings season with inflation and rising tensions in the Middle East. Well, the pain at the pump continues to get worse for drivers. AAA says the national average cost for regular gas is now $3.67 a gallon. That's 4 cents more than last week and 19 cents higher than a month ago. We go from gas-powered vehicles to electric ones. Tesla is recalling nearly all of its 4,000 Cyber trucks. There are concerns that faulty accelerator pedals could get stuck. Meanwhile, the company also told some recruiters on its staff that they're being laid off on Friday. These new job cuts come after Tesla said it was eliminating 10% of its global workforce last weekend. That's business. I'm David Asman.
A new report warns of higher levels of risky chemicals meant to protect our food supply. Independent product testing organization Consumer Reports says about 20% of fruits and vegetables it studied contained unhealthy levels of pesticides. Consumer Reports examined 59 common fruits and vegetables, including fresh, canned, dried, and frozen products, along with 7 years of Department and Agriculture data. The report says imported produce from Mexico also carried high risks of pesticides. Netflix says its password crackdown has netted it millions more customers and boosted profits. The streaming service says it gained about 30 million new customers last year as a result of blocking password sharing outside of a household and new ad-based options. The company also reports a gain of 9.3 million subscribers in the first quarter of 2024. Netflix says it will stop sending quarterly reports on subscriber totals starting next year as it looks to focus more on financial growth tracking instead. Still ahead, it's the highest day and a day to be cautious.
Welcome back. So again, after some sunny skies initially on our Saturday, clouds began to roll in by this afternoon, and they're going to continue to roll in and bring at least a few of us some chances for showers. So again, this is from our camera on the Cornell Complex earlier this afternoon, downtown Joplin. You can see the clouds beginning to roll into the area, and they're going to be associated with some shower chances. Earlier today, again, a couple of stray showers, northern Bourbon County, more shower activity off to our north and west, but as you can see, clouds across a good portion of the area. So we started our Saturday pretty good. Some sunshine. It was chilly this morning, but could be a lot worse out there. And then we're just going to get this bulk of clouds rolling into the area as we head overnight tonight. And again, a few stray showers, especially in our northern counties, will be possible as we head overnight tonight. Otherwise, we're going to start to clear out. And that's going to be the fun part. So after about midnight or so, we'll start to see clouds decreasing, going partly cloudy, 39. So with that said, patchy frost will be possible at least in some locations. We'll have a north breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Our Sunday, initially we were looking at some shower chances, but now we are looking at slightly better conditions. Maybe a few clouds in the morning, a stray cloud or two as we head into the afternoon. Otherwise, sunny skies, still not where we should be, only 62. But at least it'll look warmer out there. North breeze at 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we head into Sunday night, clear skies. So again, on the average, lows back into the low 40s, but some of us may fall back into the upper 30s. And we do have some patchy frost that'll be possible once again out there. So just keep that in mind if you got some outdoor vegetation. And winds will begin to calm down as we go overnight as well. And that's ahead of a relatively decent Monday for us as well. We start Monday, clear skies. By late night Monday, clouds will start to build in from the north, and that's associated with our round of storms that'll be rolling in by Tuesday across the area. So by Tuesday afternoon and evening, a few scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. Otherwise, we're mostly cloudy and temperatures right about back where they should be, right around that 70-degree mark again. Those storms will clear out, and by Wednesday, we're looking pretty good as well. Partly to mostly cloudy skies out there through most of our Wednesday, and highs about where they should be once again. Then we go into Thursday morning, and brewing in from the south, another round of showers and thunderstorms across the area. And these will continue to lift to the north. And again, remember with the future track, it's not saying there's just this giant shield of rain across the area. It's showing that in this zone, this is where the opportunity for some showers and thunderstorms will be, and those darker colors representing better chances of showers and storms, and of course that would mean some heavier rain as well. As we go overnight Thursday into Friday morning, that's where we get some thunderstorms out there, and we're keeping an eye on the possibility of a strong or potentially severe storm as we head into Friday morning. And then by the time we head into the weekend, we're going to see additional shower and thunderstorm chances. And while these may be a little more scattered initially, by Friday afternoon into Saturday, we're still looking at opportunities for additional strong to severe thunderstorms out there. So again, not bad for our Monday or Sunday. Still, not bad temperature-wise Tuesday. A few thunderstorms, close to average by Wednesday. And as we head through the rest of the week and into next weekend, that's when we're keeping an eye on those additional thunderstorm chances. And thunderstorm chances aside, look at those temperatures well above average into the 80s.
All right, thanks, Chris. Coming up in sports, Seneca visits Diamond for a non-conference baseball matchup. Plus, the St. Louis Cardinals look to put an end to their losing streak. Brock Baldridge brings us the highlights from the game and more.
This weekend, a couple of our local high school teams get together for a non-conference matchup. Diamond comes into the day winning 2 of their last 3, and meanwhile, Seneca looks to snap his losing streak. Early afternoon contest in Diamond as the Wildcats are hosting Seneca. So we start things early off in the first inning as Ian Hefferon is on the mound for the Indians. He gets back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning, and Seneca heads to the dugout, trailing 2-1 after the first. So we go to the second inning now. Giancarlo Martinez pulls this ball deep to left field, and that clears the fence for a 2-run home run, and that gives the Wildcats a 4-1 lead. We go to the third inning now, and the Seneca offense only look to respond as Cade Johnson's at the plate with runners on, hits this ball past the infield. 2 runs coming to score, and Johnson goes into second base with a 2-run double, and Seneca makes it a 4-3 ball game. So we go to the bottom of the third. Austin Gerdner gives this ball a ride deep to right field, and see you later. It's an opposite field 2-run homer But in the end, a huge comeback by Seneca in extra innings beats Diamond by a final score of, get this, 22-14. Well, the Missouri Southern Lions have 2 more home games remaining in the regular season. Now, this stretch of games is really key for MSSU. The team is vying for a hosting spot when it comes to NCAA Regionals time. No problem for Southern this afternoon. Senior day out there at Warren Turner Field as the Lions are up the Griffins today, winning this game 14-6. Southern wins the series and they have a chance for the sweep tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pitt-State's on the road today. The Gorillas win a high-scoring battle 10-8. Dylan Kurahashi, Choi Fu, and Blake Mosley combined for 7 RBIs each. And each guy in that game also homered, so they'll go for the sweep tomorrow. In softball today, Pitt-State wraps up their final game of the road contest for the regular season. So the Gorillas win Game 1 10-9, and Pitt-State completes the sweep by winning Game 2 6-4. Now, this leaves the door open for Pitt-State to potentially win a league title if they're able to sweep the next homestand. So over in Maryville today, Missouri Southern grinding out the rest of the season. Lions lose a couple of close games here, 3-1 and 2-1. Missouri Southern will return home to face Newman and Central Oklahoma on Senior Day next weekend. The St. Louis Cardinals return home for Busch Stadium, and the Cardinals can actually make up some ground in the division standings as they host the Milwaukee Brewers, who are currently in first place. Cardinals versus the Brew Crew of Milwaukee, top of the first. Reese Hoskins gets all of it. Get up, get out, goodbye home run. It's a 2-run blast, and the Brewers lead 2-0. So we go to the second inning now. Milwaukee leads 2-1 with the bases loaded, and William Contreras, the brother of Wilson, goes deep to center field, and look at this, Michael Saini makes a leaping grab at the wall and gets St. Louis out of the inning. So we go to the fourth now as the Cardinals lead 4-2, and Bryce Terang goes down to golf this one out of here into the St. Louis bullpen. It's a 2-run homer. That ties the game. It's 4-4. So next batter at the plate, Cardinals having trouble keeping the ball in the ballpark as Jackson Chirina goes deep to right field, and that one is gone. Back-to-back homers for the Brewers, and Milwaukee goes on to win the slugfest 12-5. And, going back to Pitt State softball, we talked about Heather Arnett earlier, but she's also passed another record today, which is the all-time stolen bases record at Pitt State. So only a sophomore has not completed her second year yet, 75 stolen bases. So what a career she's had.
Putting up big numbers. Can't wait to see what the next few years hold for her.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, Brock. We'll be right back. It's officially 420, and for many, this is a special day to celebrate marijuana. While cannabis use is welcomed in many states, law enforcement is urging those partaking in the celebratory haze to not get behind the wheel. Fox's Rachel Sauer has more.
We know that a lot of people are going to be partaking in cannabis this weekend, and we just hope they don't drive, because if they do, that could be a huge mistake.
420 Day means for many a day to celebrate and smoke marijuana. But just like days where heavy drinking is involved, law enforcement will be on high alert.
There is heightened enforcement going on for all sorts of impaired driving that might happen.
Because just like alcohol,
it's dangerous and it can lead to a fatal crash on our roadways.
But how dangerous is it? Law enforcement says any amount of THC can slow your reflexes. You are more likely to weave, and your perception of time, speed, and distance is off.
You cannot be smoking, ingesting any type of marijuana, THC, cannabis, and driving at the same time.
In the last few years, there has been an increase in dangerous driving across Colorado, including driving impaired.
From 2019 to 2021, and approximately 26% of drivers that were involved in injury and fatal crashes had a type of marijuana in their system, whether it been marijuana, THC, things like that.
CDOT says to treat cannabis just like alcohol. And when you're out celebrating 420 Day,
just call somebody to get you home safe. The last thing you want is a DUI, and the last thing you want is to get into a crash and take somebody's life.
The EPA designated 2 forever chemicals as hazardous substances. Those compounds, PFOS and PFOA, are under a larger forever chemical cluster known as PFAS. The labeling follows recent ruling by the EPA that limits the amount of PFAS in drinking water to the lowest level. PFOS and PFOA are found in everyday things from toys to carpets to dental floss. Exposure has been linked to higher risks of certain cancers. The agency's final ruling requires companies to report when they release high levels of the chemicals into water or soil. Some reports may lead to required cleanups that could cost companies tens of millions. Up next, do animals actually possess consciousness? The Kelsey brothers have both won Super Bowls, but it appears only one of them still has the ring. Retired Philadelphia Eagles center Jason Kelsey says he lost his bling during a live fan event last week. The brothers held a show at the University of Cincinnati, complete with zany events. One of them included participants digging through a pool of chili to find replicas of Jason's 2018 Super Bowl ring. But the actual ring was also in the pool, and now it's gone. Dozens of scientists have signed the New York Declaration of Animal Consciousness following debates over how various species should be treated. Nearly 40 researchers signed the declaration. It was published Friday during a conference at New York University. The declaration is brief and stops short of arguing that animal consciousness is certain or proven. It says there is strong scientific support, the idea that birds and mammals have conscious experience. The declaration also says there is a realistic possibility of consciousness in creatures from reptiles to octopi, crabs, and insects. Well, that is our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We'll leave you with a video of baby gibbons at the San Antonio Zoo. From all of us here at KOAM, have a great night.